Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Just imagine, I think between yesterday and today, I think almost every one of us has gone to the toilet. But that's not the story of 2.5 billion people today. 1 in 3 people lack access to clean and safe toilets. When I was in Nigeria in January, 90% of the people defecate in the open. 90% of the population, which has claimed lots of lives, leading to impoverishment and diminished opportunities for thousands of people, especially girls. In 2010, only 14% of Cameroon population, where I come from, had access to improved sanitation. And according to Transparency International, only 19% of primary schools had working toilets. In Cameroon, diarrhea has claimed over 17,600 lives of children under 5 in 2008. And when we were working in schools, we realized that even though we're sending kids to school and providing them with educational supplies, most of the kids were staying home, especially the girls. Some of them were very shy to come to school because they were not happy with the state of the toilet. Most of them stayed home because they felt uncomfortable, especially during their period. Some were very shy because they couldn't afford sanitary pads. And the greatest demand was toilets. And we also realized that teachers were not coming to school because one teacher told us that when they come to school and they want to go to the toilet, the distance for them to work and to the nearest bush is just too far for them to go and come back. Same with the kids. So we worked with the school, we asked them, so how can we help you guys? And that's how we started building toilets in 2014. And our mission is simple, to promote safe hygiene and sanitation practices in schools by constructing pit toilets in poor communities in rural Cameroon so that children can stay in school and learn in an environment that is not only free from disease, but one that ensures their safety and well-being. And our core objectives is to end the practice of open defecation, to minimize the number of school days school children lost a day, to create an environment where children, especially girls, feel safe and secure, hence minimizing their risk of having to walk for miles just to look for a safe place to defecate or urinate, to promote the practice of hand washing in schools and that transcends to households. And our theory of change is very simple. We go to the communities, we identify the schools, and our model is simple. The communities provide all the raw materials. I mean, the community provide the labor. They provide all the basic raw materials like stones, trees that we can use, and we provide funding for the other part of the materials which they cannot afford. So it's pretty much the community provides about 60% and we provide 40%. And we teach them how to maintain the toilet. We teach them how to teach the kids how to wash their hands, especially when they go to the toilet. Since 2014, we've built 5 schools, and you can see some of the pictures there. And it's serving right now 1,300 kids and teachers. Girls now feel a little bit safe. The practice of open defecation has greatly reduced. And one important thing that we came to realize was the number of school days kids were losing a year dropped by 27%. So enrollment rate went up. And this has also reduced the number of hours that teachers and the kids lose each day trying to find a safe place to defecate. If you look at the picture at the bottom right, that was the one that actually just mesmerized. I was just overwhelmed. That school, what they did was they just dug a hole and they put in a ladder. And you had kids of about 4 years old having to go down the ladder and defecate. We had cases where kids had to fall and some kids almost died because that is the only thing they had. And you should understand that in 2000, my country made primary education free. So that meant that kids could go to school for free. But in reality, it became a burden because the government stopped providing funding to basic services like tables, chairs, toilets. So now parents had to charge, the teachers had to charge parents what you call a parent-teacher association fee. And most kids were not even coming to school just because of that. So, but some of the barriers that we face is the fact that convincing the parents to build toilets at home is a challenge, because we don't want a situation where kids can only enjoy toilets at school, but in their homes they cannot. So we are engaging the parents, and one of the things we found out was these kids are putting a lot of pressure on their parents back home to provide them such toilets. Some of the parents are asking us that we're just giving them a lot of problems because now the kids are pressuring them. And then one of the other things that we're facing is compliance. So we are trying to teach the schools how to develop guidelines that actually promote hand washing in a sustainable way that allows them to take full ownership. And one teacher recounted to us that kids now are leaving their homes at 7 in the morning and rushing to school just to use the toilet at school. And some would just stay at school till they go home. And interestingly enough, the head teachers told us that teachers are applying to come to such schools because they have toilets. And teachers are also using such toilets for learning purposes. And so if you look at this data, so diarrheal disease was one of the huge problems that kids were facing. And you would see that in 2014, after we started building toilets, that number dropped. The number of days that kids lost from school dropped from 261 to 166, followed by lack of textbooks. But just one thing, we realized that toilets are very critical in an early stage of a child, especially the girl child. And we have to put a lot of pressure on our governments to make sure that every child, every part of the world, have an access to a clean and safe toilet. Thank you.